So, is anybody else obsessed with The Gifted? Because I am. Hello and welcome to Geek Devotions, a show from a couple of devoted geeks, devoted to letting people know that you are loved. I am Celeste, and I am so glad that you are watching this. I am so ecstatic. So today, we are talking about one of my new favorite shows, because I am this obsessed with this show, called The Gifted. It's about X-Men, basically. It's about the other mutants outside of the X-Men, the mutant community as a whole. If you haven't watched the show, I highly suggest it. It's really good, really well done, and I appreciate the storyline following some of the smaller mutant characters rather than just following the ones we all know and love. Here is your spoiler warning. So as we were watching this show, we've been playing catch up because we're a little behind. But as we've been watching it, there was one plot line that really stuck out to me, and I really wanted to do this devotion on it. Reed Strucker, the father of the two main characters with abilities, is captured by the police as they're trying to get their kids to safety. And he ends up making a deal with Sentinel Services to basically keep his family safe, but the cost is the entire mutant underground. Now, you can kind of understand where he's coming from this, because it's his family. You do anything for family, right? Even at the cost of others' lives. At the same time, you're sitting here going, "Don't do it!" It was a really interesting plotline to watch as it was unfolding, because you could see him feeling crunchy. He visibly felt horrible about what he was about to do. He got even to the point of he almost was leading them to the underground. And then he had a change of heart, realized what he was doing was not worth it. Selling your soul to do something was not worth it, because that's kind of what he was doing. So he jumps out of the car, Sentinel Service picks him up, they're taking him to the black site, and then everything else that happens in the series. But I wanted to focus on the decision that he made. Sometimes as Christians, we make decisions because we feel pressure to make them quickly, or we just don't think about the fact that this is a pretty big thing, and we should really talk to God about it. And sometimes the decisions feel like the right thing, but if we were to really pray over it, it really is not the right thing at all. Usually when we make decisions like this, we feel like we're backed into a corner. There's no way out, no other way other than this one thing, so it must be what God wants, right? We don't take the time to talk to Him or even to seek godly counsel. It even talks about this in Proverbs 14:12. It says, "There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way to death." This is not a new problem, making decisions without taking the appropriate time to go over them and make sure that they're right. Now, I'm not saying that every decision you make needs to be brought to the Lord in prayer. It's okay to decide to go to Taco Bell rather than McDonald's. It's okay to decide to go to McDonald's rather than Taco Bell. But Taco Bueno should always win.
Yes! This episode not sponsored by Taco Bueno, but Taco Bueno, if you'd like to sponsor Geek Devotions, contact us at geekdevotions@gmail.com.
We will take tacos. That being said, the big decisions, the things that feel big, the things that feel like it might not be the best idea, take them to God. Pray about it. Don't let anyone force you to do something that you're not ready and willing to do. Because it might be that the reason that you feel like you don't need to do that is because God's trying to whisper that this is not a good idea. I would even encourage you to pray often so that you hear those whispers more clearly, so that you may not, if you have to make a decision at the split second, that you know this is what God's saying. Stay in tune to what God is telling you, even in the small things. Again, Taco Bueno should always win. And here is the most important point of this whole thing. Always let God lead you. Let Him tell you where to go. If you feel like He's telling you something, do it. Don't fight it, even if it's something you really don't want to do. Because in the long run, obedience to Him is going to pay off so much better. Well, there's your devotion for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts and leave comments on this video on YouTube. Interact with us. Let us know what you think about everything that's going on.
Yeah, speaking of let us know your thoughts, we want to know your thoughts on this week's question of the week. Celeste, what is this week's question of the week?
This week's question of the week is, who is your favorite mutant from TV and movies? We're excluding the comic books simply because there are so very many of the mutants.
Oh, man. This makes it harder.
I know. I know. But yours is getting a movie.
He is getting a movie.
Well, he's going to be in a movie.
Yeah, true story.
He might be getting a movie.
Maybe. Okay, so then my answer is going to be, and don't hate me, folks. No, I don't think anybody would hate me. Oh, man, because he's so different, though, in the movies. This is hard, Celeste.
I'm sorry.
Oh, because I was going to say Nightcrawler, but he's so different than he was in the movies. Or than he was in the comics.
I still liked him in the movies.
He was good in the movies, but he's so different than he was in the comics. So, in the comics, he was an amazing character. All right, because we're sticking to the movies, right?
Movies or TV?
Movie or TV. Oh. Well, then I can do Nightcrawler, because Nightcrawler in the animated series was really cool, too. So I'm going to go with Nightcrawler.
There you go.
That's my answer. So, I want to know your answer. Leave comments down below. Celeste, do you have an answer right now?
I do.
What is it?
I think that, and this is a fairly new thing, mostly because I don't think they did Laura justice in the movie. But my favorite is Polaris.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's awesome.
She is pretty cool. I like her a lot, too.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We want to know your guys' thoughts. Make sure you leave them in the comment section down below. And also, while you're doing it, do us a favor and head over to our friends at Victims and Villains podcast. And they should have an episode coming up pretty soon. At time recording this, it's not quite up yet, but it should be coming up soon. We did an episode with them of their podcast. It was a lot of fun. Had a great conversation. We talked about some pretty deep stuff. And we also talked about the new Lion King.
You're saying that the discussion about Lion King wasn't deep?
I am saying it's not as deep as the real heavy stuff.
There's that.
Because this is a suicide prevention podcast, and they handle a lot of really intense stuff. We want to encourage you guys to check it out and support that amazing ministry.
Well, I believe that's everything.
All right.
Stay devoted.
Peace and love, guys.